The thing I want to talk about was this island in Albania that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are trying to develop. And the reason it is like so salient today is because Ivanka Trump did an interview that is quite possibly one of the most out of touch, read the room examples of an interview I've ever seen. Now, obviously we can all agree the world has needed a new billionaire island. Clearly, everyone's been clamoring ever since Epstein's fall. It's like, why don't we have a billionaire island? And thankfully, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump have taken up that mantle of creating it. And that would be one thing. But to do it with this tone or this air that you discovered the island and you're like learning about inner peace is crazy. So this is why.
Project with my husband in the Mediterranean. It's massive in scale.
I think that's an understatement. Can you explain?
Yes, it is.
There's no power on this island. You're building everything from scratch, correct?
Well, it's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim.
I just want to pause. Just pausing early. But understand the context, and she should understand this. You are the daughter of the President of the United States, who is currently spending most of his day dealing with a war that he started that has driven up gas prices and cost of living for the average American citizen. More than half of Americans say the cost of living is worse under Trump right now than at any other point in their lives. 53% of those surveyed couldn't recall ever struggling harder to make ends meet. And then the daughter of the president goes in a long form. By the way, this interview, there's no purpose to it. She didn't need to do this. It's one thing to use your untold billions to buy a private island. The other thing is to publicly flaunt that you have 1,400 hectares of untouched land. By the way, on that note, this land was protected under Albanian environmental rules, but we'll get to how they got around that.
Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the islands. We went on a hike, barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated. And it stayed with us ever since. And over the course of many years, we developed the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform.
So again, developed the opportunity to help realize its potential is like a lot of words to say a little. More correctly, they utilized their many, many nepotistic connections through the father being the president of the United States to get an audience with the Albanian prime minister and get a runaround of all of the laws and legal restrictions that would have prevented them from getting this much control as an outside investor of an environmentally protected island. This is Ivanka Trump with the prime minister. It's kind of naked corruption, but it's presented as like, we developed this in some, holistic, thought-provoking, long-form way.
Really, the architecture has to be fully integrated into it, almost rise from it. It's not even a business for me, despite the scale of it. We not only the island, but we have 5 miles of beachfront directly across from the island, this beautiful peninsula with a lagoon on one side, the ocean on the other, beautiful white sand.
So this is just bragging. This is just an incredibly rich person bragging about how you have miles of private beachfront. Now, again, when they were given approval to even develop on this island, they made the promise that they would only take 8% of this island, 8% of the surface area. And as the development has gone along, it has become very clear that their intention is to own the island completely. They have built out the entire thing. They've gotten all the parcels and they're getting so it was a lie. It was a lie. Again, this used to be like basically a nature preserve in Albania, is now the private property of her and Jared Kushner to build out a massive, massive compound for the super rich.
It feels more like a challenge than anything else. The culmination of all of my experience in real estate, all of my travel, a lot of reflection on how I want to live, how I think people increasingly are wanting to live.
That's probably the worst part, because it is presented like it's like a profound spiritual, philosophical journey to like, this is how people really want to live. And it's like, it's not a surprise that it's nice to live on a gigantic private island in the Mediterranean. It's a gigantic sprawling mansion with billions of dollars of private beachfront in the Mediterranean. Like, yeah, maybe you don't want to get that. You didn't figure something out. That's not like some amazing discovery. And again, the reason they have this money is largely through corruption. It's through Jared Kushner's investment firm making tons of money in the Middle East by being an access point to Trump. And they use that money to develop this real estate. Like, it's not an experience. It's not some lived experience that she has that no one else has. It's just a lot of money and a lot of private connections.
And trying to really build something that's a tangible manifestation of that. That requires a lot of vision, the collaboration of some of the greatest masters that exist. So I was just there walking the land, really just trying to sort of be with it and experience it alongside.
Oh my God. Using therapy speak too, of like, I'm walking the land and I'm being with it and you're paying developers and contractors and architects to build chickens. You are just rich and well-connected. It's not some incredible insight.
Some of the greatest living architects of our time, like true masters of their craft, people with integrity so absolute, like there will be no compromise. And that's something we want to create there. So we're very excited.
I'm sure you are. But the people who are not excited include the Albanian people who have been actually protesting in greater and greater numbers as this project is going to light. Albania is one of the poorest countries in Europe. And this is a $1.4 billion luxury hotel complex that has lied every step of the way and gotten the runaround and all the rules they would have to normally follow. They just are politically connected. I think it reminds me of the Nepal protests where I think like something about Nepo kids is the best flashpoint for anger. And I feel it too. I feel like when I read about, like, for example, Don Jr. and Eric Trump starting a rare earth mineral refining company right as that becomes important to America's strategic interests, and then they get picked out of all the hundreds of rare earth mineral companies, and they get $600 million loan from the government and a Pentagon contract. That's like, it's obvious corruption. I get more upset with them somehow than Trump himself. Just by being born to this guy, they are just looting the coffers. And so I think the people of Albania are generally upset with their government and extra upset about this. It's becoming a flashpoint for larger protests. As an Albanian, corruption there is really bad. It's one of the things caused by it. The main goal of the protest now is to remove the prime minister and the opposition. Well, the prime minister is the heart of this corruption scandal because he's the one who met with Ivanka and Jared to give them the ways to get around all the regulation. So yeah, it would make sense that he's the target. But I just thought that interview, and that's it's actually like a 2-hour interview. That's the key line, but it really is an inability to read the room. Just given how upset everyone is about the economy right now. And all I'm saying is wait till after the midterms before you have your daughter do a 2-hour podcast about her billionaire private island. That's like if I'm gonna give you PR and marketing strategy, that's like the one thing I would say. I just hold that till right after the midterms, because it turns out that people in America's farmland are not gonna super appreciate that. That interview could be something with Let Them Eat Cake. Ironically, Marie Antoinette saying let them eat cake is more correct because at least she's addressing the concerns. It's a stupid solution, but Ivanka's not even listening. She's not even discussing. She doesn't even at once mention that, hey, this is obviously for a different clientele. I understand people are struggling. It's like, she said it like, this is what people want. It's like, people right now are looking for a better solution to life. People are stressed. They need a nicer place. And that's what we're offering. And it's like, bro, you are making a billionaire private island. Yeah, it's not let them eat cake. It's I'm eating cake and it's delicious. It's really just describing the taste of the cake you're eating for 2 hours and how fucking delicious and moist and tasty it is. You know, I skimmed through the full 2 hours and it really is just like, it's completely out of touch on a level that I didn't really expect. I don't know what'll happen. I mean, the protests in Albania are growing. There is certainly precedent in the past few years for countries, Balkans, Africa, Southeast Asia, of having these Gen Z protests turn out to be a lot bigger than they thought. The people in power are surprised by the speed they move because of social media and people's general anger, especially in this age group. So I think shit could get worse for the prime minister in Albania. It's a poor country. People are angry. I'm not 100% what'll happen. I don't know its level of institutional control. But I do think that if this island is allowed to go through, it really is like a monument to, I'm not even excess, to being out of touch, to just not understanding the moment. The moment right now is a backlash towards all of this, towards billionaire islands, towards extracting wealth from an area instead of, it's such a wrong thing to be doing publicly in this moment. Zoomers are better at producing the millennials' facts. Well, they're poorer and angrier. So I guess, yes, you make a millennial poor and angry enough, they'll protest with the best of them. They'll get their wand out and they will wave it at anyone who's in their way. Wait, let's see the protest. Albanians in the street presenting judges and what's explaining the military. They don't seem happy. They could be though. Do you think possibly they're cheering? This is a great idea, Ivanka. Thank you so much for bringing this beautiful island into our country. Do you think maybe it's a rally? Thank you, daughter of foreign president, for buying our environmental protected island and building a gigantic billionaire compound on it. The worst part is it's the way it is being constructed, because Albania does have a pretty big tourism industry, and it's actually one of the fastest growing parts of their economy. So theoretically, a forward-thinking government could find a way to environmentally sustainably develop this island in a way that attracts tourism. The problem is the way this is being built is basically an off-the-grid private island for billionaires only. They're reproducing all the infrastructure on the island alone, and the idea is that people don't really leave. And so the money just goes to a Kushner global conglomerate. It's abusing their access. They've gotten the land for relatively cheap, and that's it. It's not going back to the Albanian economy at all. So it really is a pure extract. Did you listen to her? The architecture is rising out of the land and it's truly integrated. In fact, I did listen to her. I even saw a mock-up. Let's see if I can find it. Look at how the architecture is rising out of the land, bro. And I think she said that everyone, regardless of income, is going to be able to stay in one of these. What if it's the long game and once all the billionaires get there, it's revealed to be Alcatraz 2? You think the Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are going to build Alcatraz 2 to secretly capture all the billionaires? They've played the long game. It's 5D chess. Oh, that's awesome. All right, in that case, they should be able to build whatever they want. I didn't know there was a theory where they were doing that.